Have you ever had Linux do this to you? You run a command, the file exists, the path is correct, everything looks fine, and Linux responds with just two words: permission denied. It's your computer, so why is Linux stopping you? To answer that, we need to leave Linux behind for a moment and visit a company that made a terrible decision. Imagine arriving at work one morning and finding an email from management. Starting tomorrow, everyone can access everything: payroll records, HR documents, financial systems, production databases. No restrictions, no approvals, no barriers. Sounds amazing, right? For about 5 minutes, then reality arrives. Someone edits the wrong salary record, a developer deletes a production database, an intern changes a setting they don't understand. Nobody intended harm here, but the damage is already done. And suddenly everyone realizes something important. Not everyone should be allowed to do everything. And that's exactly the problem Linux needed to solve. Because Linux has a trust problem. Actually, Linux doesn't trust anyone. Think of every file in Linux as a secure area, and every user, application, or process as someone trying to enter before anyone gets access. Linux asks two questions: who are you and what are you trying to do? Most people think they are the only user on their computer, but Linux disagrees. Even when you are sitting alone at your desk, hundreds of processes are running behind the scenes. Browsers, databases, services, update agents, system components, all of them want access to files. And Linux has to decide who gets what. So Linux simplifies the problem. Every file sees the world through just three categories: owner, group, others. Think of it like employees, departments, and visitors. Simple, scalable, easy to manage. The Linux asks a second question: what are you trying to do? Read it or write it to it and execute it. That's where those famous Linux permissions come from. Read, write, execute, or simply RWX. Now let's revisit that error. You have a script, backup.sh. You can see it, you can open it, you can read every line. But when you try to run it, Linux says permission denied. Why? Because Linux isn't asking, does the file exist? Linux is asking, are you allowed to perform this action? And the answer was no. Suddenly those weird permissions strings make sense. RWX, R-X, R-, different people, different levels of access, just like any well-run organization. Of course, every organization eventually needs someone with master access, someone who installs software, who can repair systems, who can manage users. Linux calls that person as root, the holder of the master keys. Linux permissions are built around a simple idea. A mistake should stay a mistake. It shouldn't become a disaster. One application shouldn't control the entire machine. One user shouldn't accidentally affect everyone else. Permissions create boundaries, and boundaries make systems reliable. So the next time Linux says permission denied, it isn't being difficult. It is doing exactly what it was designed to do. If Linux concepts finally started making sense today, you are exactly why I have created Tech Circumference. Subscribe for more Linux explanations that focus on understanding, not memorization. And until next time, keep exploring. Thank you.